Hi, these comments are for PB. This is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com, and you're doing my free TOEFL speaking practice test evaluation. And remember that when we get done with this and you get your feedback, if you have any questions about any services I offer, I have many inexpensive services to help you improve your English to reach your TOEFL goal. You can come by during my virtual Zoom office hours. You will see them below my name in this email. And remember that my Zoom office hours, this is California, Los Angeles, California time in the United States. So it might be different from where you are. Most likely it is different. Okay, let's listen to your practice test here so I can give you an evaluation. So I have the IBT rubrics here. Here's your practice test. I think this is what method is learning. Do you like group study or individual study?
Well, I feel some students prefer studying in a group. My preference is studying by myself because,
Okay, let's go back to what you just said. I think you said although, right?
well, I feel some students prefer studying in a group. My preference is studying by myself because when you study with a group, you have
Notice how you went from I and then you. Keep it consistent. If you like studying individually, then give an example from your experience to
a
illustrate
lot
that.
of points to discuss. But when I'm studying by myself, I can feel like I can focus on the points which I personally am not good at. Besides, I
Do you have an example in your personal experience in which you have done this, where you felt like you could concentrate and focus better because you were studying alone? If so, what class was it? What you were preparing for? And how did you study?
get distracted very easily, and what becomes a group discussion can easily turn into a normal hangout with friends, and that makes my grades suffer. This has happened once when I have studied with a few of my friends, and while the study session has been going great, this study session has not reflected on my exam scores. That's why I believe
This study session did not reflect in good scores or something. So I don't think has the present tense is going to work there when you're talking about a past action that's clearly completed.
studying by myself is a better option.
Okay, let me listen to it one more time and I'll give you a score. My first impression is around 3. I think 23 points out of 30 when I'm looking at the rubrics here. That seems to be where you are right now. Okay, let's listen one more time.
Well, I feel some students prefer studying in a group. My preference is studying by myself because when you study with a group, you have a lot of points to discuss. But when I'm studying by myself, I can feel like I can focus on the points which I personally am not good at.
Okay, so you gave an example of group study, but you didn't give an example of individual study and why that's more effective. So it seems to be that if you're choosing, and the argument is individual study is better, then why not give a specific example to support that point of view?
Besides, I get distracted very easily, and what becomes a group discussion can easily turn into a normal hangout with friends, and that makes my grades suffer. This has happened once when I have studied with a few of my friends,
When you say this has, you might say, in fact, this has happened once when. Use the word in fact there to help introduce that important
and while
information.
the study session has been going great, this study session has not reflected on my exam scores. That's why I
And that last part's one of the reasons I'm giving you 23 is you didn't have good control of your language use when you said that
believe
sentence.
studying by myself is a better option. Well, I feel
Right. So I think when I'm looking at this, it seems that the three area, I'm thinking here, minor difficulties with pacing, yes. Sometimes you have some awkward pauses. You break up the sentences that you're speaking sometimes in awkward parts, and it doesn't quite fit, and it disrupts the flow of what you're saying. So that means you have some fluidity of expression, but not what we call well-paced flow. Language use, you had some problems, some either imprecise or inaccurate use of vocabulary or grammar. So I think that's another reason. I'm going to put you in the 3 area. And then in the last rubric, We have overall development somewhat limited, usually lacks elaboration. Yes, especially as it relates to the individual study, which is what you prefer. Okay, so those are my comments.